Hello there everybody, and thank you for watching my video today. And happy Labor Day as well. This is my second video of weekly medical news stories. Before I get to the stories of the week, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button if you find this channel informative, and also hit that bell to be alerted to my new content. I had 2 new subscribers last week. I want to say thank you for subscribing. It means a lot to me. And now on to the story that I found for you that I think you will find interesting. I want to remind you that I will leave the links for each story below in the description section so that you can read the full story for yourself. Now with that being said, now on to story number 1, which comes from Medical News Today. The title of the story is Forever Chemicals Found in Certain Period Products, Researchers Say. Now, the researchers said that they found PFAS, such as perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances, in certain period products, including the packaging for those items. PFAS, if you remember from my video from last week, have been linked to potential health problems such as cancer, liver and kidney damage, cardiovascular disease, obesity, diabetes, and immune system dysfunction. These PFAS are also known as forever chemicals. Forever chemicals are called that because of their extended times to break down. This new study was led by Graham Peasley, PhD, who is a professor at Notre Dame University in Indiana. Now, the researchers in this study said that they examined period products and detected PFAS in some of them. So which period products, you may be asking, contain forever chemicals? The scientists in this study examined more than 100 period products and their packaging and were looking for fluorinated compounds, which can indicate the presence of PFAS. Some of the products examined included tampons, pads, reusable underwear, and menstrual cups. And the researchers note in this study that labels for period products do not typically list these ingredients. Therefore, consumers do not know what is in them. I particularly find this alarming. How about you? However, the researchers said that the results showed that many of the products did not have polyfluoroalkyl, and they were surprised at the presence of it in the wrappers for some pads and tampons, as well as in the outer layers of some of the period underwear. Now, the researchers go on to say that they hypothesize that manufacturers add fluorine to keep moisture out and keep the product dry. When they add fluorine to the outer layers of the product, it could keep blood from escaping the inner layers and spreading to clothing. To read more on this article, please go to the link provided, which is in the description below. Now, my second medical news story comes from the Texas Tribune that was published on August the 30th. And it is concerning a new Texas law that went into effect on September the 1st. Now, the article states that House Bill 3162 will increase how much notice hospitals have to give patients' families from 10 days to 25 days. Now, that new threshold will now begin when medical professionals tell relatives of their intent to end care and give family members an opportunity to find a different healthcare facility willing to treat the patient. This article goes on to say that if the family wants to move the patient to another facility, doctors must perform any procedures necessary for a patient to be transferred. Also noted in this article is that Texas is among a small number of states that have a notice period before doctors are allowed to remove patients from life support. In most states, they have laws that say doctors are not required to provide futile treatment. And John Segal, who is the president of the Texas Right to Life, says that ambiguity over what that means can make it easier for the families to challenge attempts to withdraw life support in court. The Texas Right to Life would have preferred that lawmakers require medical professionals to keep patients on life support until families find another healthcare facility that is willing to take them in. Personally, in my opinion, the law will be a good thing because it gives the patient's family the opportunity to make this hard to make hard to make decisions. It's not an easy decision for anyone to make. So what do you think? There are also some requirements in this new law that John Siegel supports. One of them being that families are allowed to participate in meetings when an ethics review committee evaluates a doctor's decision to end life support. This new law actually passed fairly quickly on the floor with very little debate too. To see the full article for yourself, visit the link in the description below. And now finally, my third and last medical news story comes from NPR and was published on August the 31st. The title of the article is, "Whatever Happened to the Case of 66 Child Deaths Linked to Cough Syrup from India?" It was in December of 2022 when the World Health Organization, WHO, linked Indian-made cough syrups to the acute kidney failure and deaths of 66 children in the Republic of the Gambia in West Africa. The World Health Organization's laboratory analysis said the cough syrups contained unacceptable amounts of diethylene glycol and ethylene glycol, chemicals that are often meant for industrial use. The WHO called for manufacturers to check the quality of medical products to prevent this from happening. Shortly thereafterward, Indian authorities shut down Maiden Pharmaceuticals in the northern Indian state of Haryana, near Delhi, where the medicines were manufactured. Also noted in this article from NPR is that since October of 2022, the WHO has issued 6 medical alerts for contaminated syrups and estimates that 15 Indian companies are involved in their distribution and investigations with India's Central Drugs Standard Control Organization are ongoing. In spite of the Gambia controversy and other cases of allegedly toxic or ineffective medication, the industry is thriving. India's drug manufacturers account for 20% of the global demand for drugs and 60% of vaccines used worldwide. Its biggest success story has been in the export of generics. Now, a generic drug has the same chemical compounds as well-known branded medicines, but can be sold at a much cheaper rate after the patent for the higher price branded drug expires. Sales of these generics currently account for 70% of India's export revenue that it earns from pharma. That's big business, folks, and these companies, just like the ones here in the US, need to be held accountable when they knowingly put stuff on the market that is or can be harmful to humans. That is my opinion. What is yours? Now here's another important part of this article, and it says that a lack of global regulatory framework for pharmaceutical quality is sorely felt, the author says, because these companies cannot be held to account for the harm they cause, either by their own governments or by a global body such as the WHO. The WHO says it's voluntary compliance up to the buyer and the seller. There are no consequences if something goes wrong, says Bakor. And that is a problem. Again, I agree with the author's assessment. How about you? I would like to know your thoughts on this and the other story as well. Leave me a comment in the comment section. But please, let's be civil, folks, okay? I want to thank you for listening to my weekly medical news update. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So until next week, y'all have a great week. I'll see you then.